Hey, how are you guys doing tonight? It is day number 41 of 90, and these are Facebook Lives that I'm doing. I'm Alan Thomas. I have Rethink Dieting for Men, part of Transform My Future, where I help obese men overcome the weight that's holding them back from living the future that they are destined to live. And for if you guys haven't watched me before, I say this in every one of my videos, but I come to this from a perspective of somebody who's been there. In March of 2017, I stepped on the scales the day after my 31st wedding anniversary, March 2nd, and I looked down on the scale and I saw 304 pounds. If I saw 299, it wouldn't have even affected me. But 304 just did something to me. It jolted me from within, and it did that from a perspective of I was 55 years old. I realized that at the time I was full time in the life insurance business, that I focused on senior adults, and I had never met a man 65 years old that was over 100 pounds overweight. And I'm 5'11". Clearly, I was way overweight, and it just hit me. I had less than 10 years to live. I would likely be known as my wife Angie's first husband, not because she dumped me, but because I couldn't get the weight off, and I would be dead. And there would be men that she would deny this today, but she's a beautiful lady and would likely have down the road have somebody else in her life, and that guy would be enjoying all the things that I'd worked for, our 4 kids, being the granddad of those kids, probably being called dad by those kids. They're, my children are grown, but it really affected me. But even as much as that affects me, what got my attention was that I wondered how much potential I had, if I could just get the weight off. I mean, it was, and if you're an obese man and you've struggled like I did at one time, and by the way, 260 days later from that scale reading, I weighed 175 pounds, and I actually tracked that journey. I publicly committed to reaching that weight in that time. So, and my dog is very excited about it. He's inside barking about it. But what I want to talk to you guys tonight about is, what kind of potential is hidden underneath your pounds? I mean, I talk to men every single day. Talk to men every day about their weight and all the things that are holding them back. What for me was a lifelong journey of being morbidly obese, and to figure out that I could get the weight off. And I had been on dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of diets. And it wasn't the diet that really was the trigger. I mean, it was, we all, the $72 billion diet industry out there, if that was the answer, wouldn't everybody have 6-pack abs and 32-inch waist and, be perfectly built? Well, that's not the case. So maybe it's something else. And I had to rethink the way I thought about dieting. I had to rethink the way I thought about how I was going to live my future. And that really led me on that journey. But it really was incredible, the things that I learned along the way. And now, coaching men who struggle with obesity and seeing them get free of that bondage is incredible. But I tell the men that I work with, so many of them, that when what I really enjoy most is when I see those guys reach their ideal weight, but not just for the simple things that we all think of, the things like, that they're going to feel better, they're going to, all the physical attributes, they're going to live longer, they're, all of those things, but really the potential that they uncover. Because so many of the men that I talk to they're morbidly obese. They're embarrassed. They won't get on an airplane. I mean, I've told the story, having to put on that seatbelt extender because I couldn't wear the seatbelt all the way out when I was on a flight. And oh my God, what an embarrassment! To me, I was just so ashamed. And how I felt when I got into the seat, and the person beside me was like, oh God, that guy's going to sit beside me. And but people who are held back in their businesses and their personal lives, and maybe they want to get have a relationship, and while it's wrong to judge somebody by their weight, it's done every day. I mean, people judged me every day, whether they said it or not. I know they looked at me and said, "What is wrong with that guy? Why can't he get fit?" And so what really just encourages me so much is when I run it, when men that I work with, reach their ideal weight, and they're discovering that there was so much potential underneath the pounds that they covered. They get courage in areas they haven't had it before. They become unlocked, so to speak. They get the confidence and really changes, and it happens. It's a process, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch that whole process. So I just want to encourage you, if you're somebody that feels like your weight has held you back, there's a million diets out there, and God bless them. There's some great ones. I mean, the one that I was on was fantastic. I highly recommend it, but I failed on it 5 or 6 times before. So was it the diet or was it something else? And so I take a little different approach. It's when I'm working with men, it's really about what's holding you back and what is, how can you get there? So I hope this makes sense, but think about that vein of gold that's hidden in your life. Think about the vein of gold that you personally have always known that you had potential, but the obesity that you're carrying around, the extra 50 or 100 or 200 or 300 pounds that you're carrying around, is holding you back from achieving that potential. Whether you get that goal that you think that you can get it once you reach your ideal weight, that business that you've always wanted, or that, relationship that you wanted, or the wealth that you wanted, or whatever that thing is, wouldn't it be nice to know that you at least got a shot at it? That it wasn't that you couldn't blame your weight on it, and you took responsibility, and that you fought with everything that you had. I mean, that's what's fun to see. And when I've heard so many times, I can't. And then, yesterday I was on the phone with 2 of my clients, and both of them doing completely different eating plans, and they're reaching their ideal weight. One of them is he's still got some more to go, but he's at a 20-year low or 22-year low in his weight. The other one is at I think an 8 or 10-year low in his weight, and they're doing things that they hadn't thought they could do again, and they're stepping into relationships, and they're stepping into business opportunities and different things that they didn't think was even possible a year ago, and here they are today. They're having success, and I'm not saying any of this to impress any of you. I'm saying it to impress upon you that there's potential hidden under your pounds. And just like my hair, there's a lot of potential there, but not as much as there used to be. So there's potential hidden underneath your pounds. Don't waste it. If you're a man that's 40, 50, 35, whatever, years old, and you don't think it's possible to get your weight off, it is, because I was the worst of the worst. I'd failed more times than I guarantee any of you guys have. And so, be encouraged. There is a way out. If you guys want to have a free breakthrough session with me, go to www.transformmyfuture.com/apply, and you can book a call with me, and we'll see if we can figure out what's got you stuck. And if you also have a masterclass at rethinkdieting.com, where you can go to and you can check that out. It's about 45 minutes, and it gives you a lot of the secrets and strategies that I used along my journey that were outside of the diet. So is it the diet, or is it you? That's what I would ask. And because it wasn't the diet, it was me. I was the blame. But I hope all this makes sense. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you guys tomorrow for day number 42 of 90. So have a great evening and keep on pressing forward.